So I have been thinking through developing healthy self-esteem as a follower of Christ, and what I've been thinking through what that looks like, and thought I would just share what God has been showing me. So the first question that I asked myself is, what is self-esteem? And I'm learning that self-esteem is your overall subjective evaluation of your own self-worth. And we all judge our own self-worth, even if we don't even realize it. We probably all do it. And we have a measure that we use, and that measure is usually based off of what we value most. So if you value outward appearances, you will evaluate your worth based on your outward appearance. Or if you value social status or fame, you will evaluate your worth based on where you fall in comparison to other people. If you value money or people's opinions, you will judge your worth based on the praise of people or comparison to those things. And so these measures can all be ensnaring, and obviously are the wrong way to evaluate your self-worth, because it feeds into our idolatries. And as we feed into our idolatries, it can pull our heart away from loyalty to God. And so I wanted to share this because as I've been fighting these type of temptations and battles in my own heart this week, the Lord has been showing me that deepening my fear of Him is actually what will help me loosen my grip on evaluating and measuring my self-worth with worthless things. And the concept that has really deepened my fear of Him is in such a powerful way is remembering and dwelling upon the reality that I am evaluated in the eyes of God by what He discovers as He searches out my heart. In 1 Samuel 16:7, the Lord's talking to Samuel, and He says to not consider Saul's appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. And then He says the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And then Jeremiah 17:10, He says, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. And Proverbs 21:2 says that a person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. And 1 Chronicles 28:9 talks about how, actually I'm probably not going to say this quite right, but you could probably look it up. But it talks about how the Lord searches every heart and understands every desire and every thought, and He searches it. And Hebrews talks about how nothing in all of creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and it's laid bare before the eyes of whom we must give an account. So what do these verses have to do with healthy self-esteem? If this reality that God is searching out, weighing, paying attention to, and considering the part of you that no one else can judge but God, being your heart, then your focus will go from those worthless things to having a deep longing and desire for your heart, your motives, the secret parts of you, to be pleasing and clean and beautiful for the Lord. If He's the one who's spending time truly searching you out, then all those other worthless means of measuring your self-worth will completely fall away. Because now you fear God. Now you know that He sees you. He's looking past all these things that we can fool people or fool ourselves to bring us worth. He looks past all of that because His focus is narrowed straight in at your heart. And I think this truth is such a good thing, because for me it feels like such a load was lifted and a freedom that I experienced just knowing that my heart is what God values and how He evaluates me. And shouldn't it be that that's what I care about too. If I'm struggling with wrong measures of self-esteem, I need to be focused on and seeking God and leaning on the Spirit and seeking His wisdom with where my heart is at. Because freedom comes and self-esteem will be something I can comfortably leave in God's hand. Like, as He meets with me daily at the heart level, I can measure myself, but it's interesting how He's measuring me. He's evaluating me. He's considering my heart before Him. And that's all that He cares about. And it should be all I care about. And so the reality that your heart is before God will help develop a fear of God, which will change your evaluation of yourself and set you free from those empty measures of godless idolatries, because the Lord is searching your heart. And that should be louder than your other means of measurement. And I know that this video was long today, but I just hope it strengthens your fear of God and helps you desire to focus in on your heart motives before Him more than anything else. And that would be like the catalyst for helping you develop a healthy self-esteem that the Lord would want. So, yeah.